She was very upset when we first met, and she learnt that I was an aspiring artist. She was very upset that I was content to paint nudes and portraits at East Sydney Tech and not paint her. And I said, okay, one day it'll be possible to do a portrait. And the piano that we'll come across down there was the first portrait that I actually made of her, and this is a more recent one, and perhaps a little more fulsome and willful. I think the piano represents a sort of inner life, the spiritual side of life. Perhaps when its strings aren't plucked or when they're not struck, it's living in a sort of mute world. But it can be, by love and attention and caress, it can come to life and sing.
Hello! Hello! Harriet! Get away! What's it? Naughty, 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 naughty.
1970, when Elizabeth and I went to America, and for me the first time out of Australia, and to that great glossy goal of all artists, New York City, which left me relatively stone dead, except for the discovering the bookshops could be open until 2 o'clock at night, and I was in one of those bookshops and came across Art Povera, or Art Povera, Germain Chalant, and there was this absolutely, that was a revelation, that here were artists using natural materials, the branches, bits of glass, steel, earth, grass, candles, rope, and making work that was so rich, so evocative, so powerful. And I suddenly thought, my God, you know, I mean, what have I been doing? What? So when we came back to Hobart, where we were at that time, I just deliberately picked up old bits and pieces like old torn bandages and thorns from the garden and beeswax and stuff like that, and made very simple objects. And that set me on the way of thinking about natural materials and finding a context for them in which they could resonate with our own psyche, where their potentialities could match ours.